Good morning, friends. In the last three lectures, we discussed about gyroscope introduction and gyroscopic couple, and in the last lecture, we discussed about how the gyroscopic couple acts on an aeroplane when it is taking left turn and right turn. What effects are going to be happened? Those things we discussed in the previous lectures. Yesterday also I have shown one video related to gyroscope functioning. And today also I would like to show a video, then I will proceed for my lecture. So because why I am very much particular about videos are, so this is a new topic, the concept is also new. If you have some pictures, picturization in your mind, you will get interest as well as at the same time you will really feel learning aptitude towards the course, isn't it? So as very beginning class onwards I am telling the same word gyroscope. It's a combination of two words called gyros and scopion, derived from a Greek Greek words naming circle to watch. And you can see here, this is actually an animation of a children playing a gyroscope toy, isn't it? We'll have first one video on the gyroscope, then we'll go for our lecture today. So you can see in this video like how the gyroscope is practically used in so many applications, and what is gyroscope, and the toy gyroscope, how it performs, and all these things you can see from this video. So the one animation you are looking here, the same thing you are also observing here. You can see this is a disc. The disc having two rings, one is inner ring and one is outer ring. These two rings are in a two different planes. Suppose if you revolve this inner disc, isn't it, then your gyroscopic action can be observed. If it is not revolved, it is only suspended, then simply it fall. Even if you try to put it in vertical position also, it will fall. That means if it is not under dynamic action, it will not sustain. Now you look at this, the same wheel is given with a spinning motion. So with this dynamic force or dynamic motion given to this wheel now will stabilize and it can sustain and it will revolve. So you can see here, now it is running. The same running wheel is kept on a simple stand. This running wheel disc is not falling but simply revolving it. You can also observe when the speed is dropped, then it is going to fall down, and the same thing you can observe if it is placed in the other orientation. Now you can see the beauty of this. This is kept on a stand and the spin is given to the rotor, then it is completely revolving, isn't it? After certain time, here also the same thing is going to happen, it is going to fall. Now you can see even a simple rope, if you give a motion and stand it on this, then this is playing beautifully, like in a circus how a gymnastic people or professionals will stand on the rope. You can see the other thing. This is a gyroscope which is hanged with a rope, and the gyroscope is given a rotation. It's a spin axis. You can observe here simultaneously not only spinning, it is also revolving. So these are all simple things which you can observe from the gyroscope device. The same thing you are seeing here. This is the gyroscope device. So the practical applications of this gyroscope are illustrated in further video part. You can observe that same gyroscopes are used in aeroplanes, and the same thing are placed in ships and other devices where you need a stabilization of certain devices. That means the pilot, if he want to see at what angle or at what position the plane is existing at that moment. You can see here the wings are taking some turn like bottom or up, and whereas here the gyroscope device is there, that gyroscope device will stabilize the system to give what is the angle that it is orienting. This is actually the gyroscope which it is there in this diagram. And these are certain practical applications, that is like in a war equipment and ships like helicopters. In all these devices you can watch the application of the gyroscope. Yeah. Now with this simple background of the gyroscope picturization, you will get some idea where we can use these gyroscope devices. In the last lecture, we discussed about the effect of the gyroscopic couple on aeroplane. We have discussed 4 cases. All the 4 cases we are also going to discuss today, but only the difference is instead of aeroplane, today we are discussing for a ship. So in place of aeroplane, you will be replacing a ship. Yesterday we discussed about aeroplane. Aeroplane place, I will replace it as now ship. Those who has not attended the yesterday's lecture or who having some doubts in the previous lecture may clear your doubts simply by listening or paying full attention on today's lecture, because only the terminology changes. In place of aeroplane, I replace the entire thing by ship, isn't it? Only ship. The magnitude of the gyroscopic couple is same in both the cases, that is I omega p, where I is the mass moment of inertia of the moving parts or rotating parts of the engine, and omega is the angular velocity, and omega p is the precessional velocity, isn't it? This is same for both ship as well as aeroplane. These are the 4 cases yesterday what we have discussed. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. Now I will come to today's lecture into ship part. So in the ship you can see first the basic terminology of the ship. So the ship have these nomenclature, important nomenclature. I am just giving a very important nomenclature. This is the front view. This is the top view. Top view and front view of the ship. Front view and top view. So if you look at this ship front view part, that front portion of it is called bow, that is the called fore end. Bow is nothing but fore end of the ship, and the rear end is called stern or also called aft. Bow is front portion, stern is rear portion, isn't it? Looking from the front. Similar, look at from the top. If you look at from the top, you have left side as well as the right side. So right side portion is called starboard and left side portion is called port. Let me repeat once again. These are the 4 simple terms which we require to continue for further its gyroscopic effect. Very important terminology. Bow. Bow is nothing but front portion of the ship, that is in the front view, and stern is the rear portion, are also called aft. Then port and starboard are nothing but left side of the ship in the top view is called port, and right side of the ship in the top view is called starboard. Now let me tell you the three phenomena that happens for a ship when it is sailing in a sea or a river. Mostly it is sea. Of course, even a river also applicable. Okay, but whatever it may be, I call it is in water. Simple word. There are three phenomena that happens for ship named as steering, pitching, rolling. Isn't it? These are the three terminology which we would like to use for further: steering, pitching, rolling. What is steering, pitching, rolling? Let us see. I have schematically represented those things once again. Like steering means your ordinary vehicle taking a left turn and right turn. That is what you can see. This diagram is connected to steering. Steering. It takes left turn or it takes a right turn. That is called steering. Pitching. What is pitching? This is sailing in a river, maybe due to the water, the fluidity or the wavy nature of the water will cause moving the ship in upward direction or a downward direction, which is called pitching. So pitching is nothing but movement of the ship up and down from horizontal position in vertical plane about transverse axis. You can call two axes. One is longitudinal axis. This is longitudinal axis. This is transverse axis. Longitudinal axis and the transverse axis, isn't it? That is the second phenomena called pitching. The third phenomena, rolling. Rolling is the third phenomena. This is a rolling phenomena. What is this rolling? Okay, let me explain taking a simple device. This time being, you take it as a ship. The ship is steering means it goes either left or it goes right. That is steering. Then pitching up, pitching down. This is pitching phenomena. Then rolling. This rolls in this way. Okay, let me repeat once again. Steering left or steering right. Then pitching up, pitching down. Rolling, entire thing roll like this. Isn't it? How in a temple the pilgrims will roll to pray the god. Some of the temples you can see, they roll completely. Similar, the entire ship is rolling. Okay. We will discuss in today's lecture only steering case, and pitching and rolling will continue in the next lecture. So what is this steering? This steering is as simple as like your aeroplane steering. There is no difference at all. Those who did not attend for yesterday's lecture, just listen carefully today's lecture and you replace the ship place an aeroplane. Your previous lecture also is going to be completed, isn't it? So those who listened yesterday, for them it looks like a repetition because I am just changing a aeroplane place ship, that's it. Okay. Now like in aeroplane 4 cases, here also there are 4 cases. And keep in one thing in your mind, in all the cases I am explaining, you are always looking from the rear end of the object. That is, either it is aeroplane or it is ship, I am looking from the rear end. from the rear end. What is rear end? What is rear end? See, rear end is nothing but this is the front end and this is the rear end. This is rear end and this is the front end. Front end, rear end. And I have a rotor here. This rotor is rotating and I am looking this rotor rotation from this direction. Which direction I am looking it? From the left hand direction, from the left side direction, isn't it? So if I look at from the left, if it is a clockwise, same thing if I look at from the front, it will become counterclockwise. Or if I look at from here counterclockwise, then it looks like from here it is clockwise. So keep in your mind, in our all discussions, we are assuming we are the rear end of either ship or aeroplane and we are watching the rotation of the rotor in the aeroplane or the ship. So case 1, what I am saying, look at. Rotor rotates clockwise and I am looking from the rear end and it takes a left turn, isn't it? See, as we discussed already spin axis identification, if I look at from the rear end, this is my rear end, okay, it is rotating clockwise, this is my right hand, let me apply right hand thumb rule, this is my right hand, keep your 4 fingers in the direction of rotor rotation, I am looking from this side clockwise, then my spin vector is moving towards right, that is the initial position of my spin vector. That is my initial position of my spin vector. Then what type of turn I am taking? I am taking a left turn. That means I have to move my OA spin axis into a new position called OB. If I want to move from OA to OB, it cannot move its own. I have to apply certain force. The force which we apply is this, A to B. This force is called active force or active couple. So when you apply an active force, automatically an equivalent amount of a reaction comes from this, which is reactive force called as gyroscopic force. If you watch this gyroscopic force, you can see this is the direction of reactive force. Then these 4 fingers showing the applying this force on the ship. This is looking from this. This is which direction? Counterclockwise direction. Now, if I apply a counterclockwise direction force on the ship, if I apply a counterclockwise direction on the ship, as it is this force, if I apply here, what will happen? The bow rises and the stern moves down. The same effect I have written here. This reaction couple tends to raise the front end, which is called bow, and lowers the rear end called stern. So front end is raised and rear end is depressed. That is with the application of reactive gyroscopic couple. The same thing, entire thing is vectorially represented here. Vectorially represented initial spin axis, new spin axis, applied force, then you can see active couple, and this is the reactive gyro couple, And as I said, the force applied is like this. If the body is like here, if I want to take a diversion like this, how this can be diverted? If I apply a force like this, isn't it? Then my thumb indicates the precision. This is the precision. Say the same second case I will tell you. This is the body. I want to give a motion to this like this. Like this. How I can give with my right hand? It is only possible by hitting like this. At that moment, the thumb indicates in the downward direction. Look at this. Isn't it? This is the case 2. That is, rotor rotates clockwise. Same, clockwise rotation rotor. Looking from the rear end. Then what type of turn I am taking? A right turn. Previous we discussed it, left turn. Now I am telling right turn. Look at this is the ship. This ship is moving like this. Then I have to move like this. How I can move like this? This is by applying a force like this. If I apply my right hand thumb rule like this, my thumb is in the bottom. That is what? Precision axis. So initial spin vector, isn't it? And I am applying a force like this, active gyroscopic couple, then this is a reactive gyroscopic couple. The same thing I have once again picturized here, eliminating the entire system in simple way in a 2 lines. This is, see, I have taken initial path, spin axis, I am giving a right turn. To get this right turn, I have to apply a force like this. So an equal amount of reactive force is developed, which is called reactive gyroscopic couple, or also called just gyroscopic couple. When I watch this, this is the thumb upward and this is the direction. You can see the 4 fingers, when you look at from this, they are revolving clockwise. If this type of clockwise motion is given to this ship, what happens? The rear end is lifted up and the front end is moved down. That is what you can watch. Same thing I have applied on a ship and I have categorically shown what is going to happen. If I apply a force like this, then the back end, rear end or a stern end is moving up and the bow is moving down. The same thing I have written the statement here. Dip the front end and raise the rear end. Raise the rear end. Okay, let us come to the third case. Case 3. Rotor rotates anti-clockwise and once again look from the rear end, taking a left turn. The difference is now the rotor is not rotating clockwise, anti-clockwise, looking from the rear end. Look at here, this is my right hand. Okay. Earlier I said rotating clockwise. Now I am telling it is rotating counterclockwise. When it is rotating counterclockwise, my thumb is indicating towards left. That is my spin vector. You can see my spin vector. Towards right. Is it right or left? It is left, isn't it? For me, if I watch like this, it is left. It is O to E, left. Now, what type of turn I have to take? Let me stand here and decide left for this. So, if you look at from the top, left is this. That is, if I want to have a turn like this, I have to apply a force like EF. Then, as we said, reactive gyroscopic couple is in the opposite direction. Then, this is reactive gyroscopic couple. If I apply once again my right hand thumb rule, arrow up, if I look at here, then this is the sense of rotation of this force. If I apply the same force on the ship, then what happens? the bow portion will be moved down and the rear end is going to be raised. The rear end is going to be raised, isn't it? Raise the, here, bow portion, reaction couple tends to raise the front end, See here, the reaction couple tends the, this is a wrong statement, sorry for this. So here, this is the case 3. Here, what it is going to happen, the front portion is pressing down. This is front portion bow lowers and the rear end rises. This part is here. Sorry for the correction. So you can see the diagram also here. The bow portion is made it wrong, a reverse way it has written. Okay. So the last case, isn't it? That is the case 4. A rotor rotates anti-clockwise, look from the rear end, and it takes a right turn. Okay, I have applied same thing. You can see. Initially, spin vector, then you are taking right turn, then this will be applied force. Then the reaction is in the downward. So if it is a downward force like this, you can see because of this, such a type of force, you can see this couple is causing rising the bow, that is the front end is raised and rear end is pressed down. So these are the 4 cases which we have discussed. Okay, let me summarize like this. 4 cases we said. Case 1, that is looking from rear end, in all cases from rear end. Rotor rotates clockwise direction and taking left turn. Then case 2, clockwise right turn. Case 3, counterclockwise left turn. The final case, counterclockwise right turn. So these 2 cases, spin vector is like this, OA, like OC. Then it is in this case a left turn, active gyroscopic couple, a reactive gyroscopic couple. And in this case, clockwise spin axis, a right turn. This is active, reactive. Third case, counterclockwise, then left turn, then reactive is like this, and final counterclockwise right turn, active, reactive. So if you remember these diagrams, you can write the entire show. Don't by heart these things. They are very simple remembering, and the effect is, once again I am giving a simple clues. 1 and 4 same effects, 2 and 3 same effects. What is the effect in 1 and 4? 1 and 4, front end rises, rear end press down. 2 and 3 in the reverse, that is front end moves down and rear end moves up. Very simple keeping. So don't by heart the things and don't try to keep the points in your mind. These diagrams also don't by heart. You can apply your simple right hand thumb rule and you use your brain to identify the turns, right, left, with your simple knowledge of left and right for you, you get all these solutions. Okay? In the next lecture, we continue the two other parts, that is ship pitching, ship rolling. So with that, we first close the aeroplane and ship, then 2 lectures we will solve the problems, then we will enter into the automobile, 4-wheeler and 2-wheeler gyroscope. Thank you. Thank you.